Good morning, this is Anthony, and this is ICT in Organizations. This is primarily going to be a group level with a focus on communication functions as pertain to Chapter 6.
According to our book, a group consists of two or more people who interact and influence one another. This can be between an inside organization or it can be external, so it can be organization to organization, both of which apply. It can be face-to-face and it can also be electronically. So it could be via email, it could be face-to-face, it could be any number of other options included. I'm going to focus on the fact that community is between organizations. My example is going to be using two different groups from Facebook, one of which is a photography group and the other is a hacker group. The concept of a global village is something that is recognized within the book. ICT makes it possible to blur these boundaries and create this global village. In my case, the two villages are a hacker group and a photography group, both of which span across multiple product lines and across the globe. In this particular case, I don't believe there's going to be much of a difference between an electronic community and the physical community on both of these groups. Both of these groups actually have contingents on a physical side and on a electronic side, but they're more heavily focused on the electronic community. The biggest element of this is that we're going to have to bring in two new terms for the concept. The first of which is going to be confirmation. Basically, a group is going to be people that like to belong to a group and they are prepared to go far in conforming to the prevailing group values. These group values actually do matter. They are normally socially acceptable and tend to be actually very socially nice. They actually tend to self-police because they want to keep these groups polite and conforming, hence the confirmation. This is an example of the conforming group. The Master Photography Podcast is actually a podcast about mastering the art of photography. This group has a lot of people in it, and they tend to be very polite. There's rules to get in, you have to be a photographer, and any number of things, but the point of it is they tend to keep it polite. The second term is de-individuation. Basically, the theory is, it argues that people in a group, electronic or otherwise, are less aware of themselves as individuals and people who function as individuals. This is actually fairly evident in the fact that the group that I'm going to display will be non-conforming. They are anything but conforming in nature. The group on display here is a non-conforming group. It is the 2600 Hacker Quarterly group. It is based on the original magazine in print that's been in print for, I think, close to 30 years now, but it was originally started based on phone phreaking. The people that are in it are the type of people that definitely do not conform to social norms. They absolutely push the boundary on politeness and etiquette. As a result, I do believe that both theories actually hold true. It depends on the actual people that make up the group. And most groups that I have found tend to be self-policing. So you get a conforming group will tend to find people that are conforming that will go with the group. And vice versa. The anti-conforming are going to be the ones that are going to seek out and find the ones that are not so nice and definitely going to be in the other. So to break it down, the difference is it depends on the group that you deal with, what type of results you're going to see. Typically, conforming will go with conforming and non-conforming will go with the non-conforming. This is the part from the book that I see as being the biggest difference. Thank you.